So hey guys, welcome to another Warframe video, and today I want to talk about bladed rounds, which is one of the new Acolyte mods that increases your critical damage by 120% when you're aiming down sights for 9 seconds after you've killed an enemy. And why do I want to talk about this mod? Well, because there was a huge discussion on the Soma crit overkill video because I used heavy caliber instead of bladed rounds. Now, first things first, maxed out heavy caliber does straight up more damage than bladed rounds. It just does straight up more damage because it increases your normal damage, which then increases your crit damage. However, that doesn't mean that bladed rounds are terrible. I would choose bladed rounds if I don't want to ruin the accuracy of the weapon, and I'm sure that I'm gonna aim down sights most of the time with it. So I use bladed rounds on bows if I have the mod space, or sniper rifles, or something like the Sybaris, where I really don't want to ruin the accuracy with heavy caliber, and I know that I will be aiming down sights most of the time. And no, I don't use these mods on my Tonkor, because I don't really aim down sights with it, so it would be pointless to put on mods that only work when you're aiming down sights. And I use heavy caliber on weapons where the accuracy loss isn't either very noticeable, or it doesn't affect it at all, or it even helps the weapon in some cases, or weapons where it doesn't matter, like automatic rifles. So both mods are useful for different kinds of weapons, and usually, unfortunately, you don't have space for both of them. And that is a huge issue with crit weapons. You literally have no mod space on them. Because you're always gonna run Serration, Split Chamber, Vital Sense, Point Strike, 2 Elemental mods, and then you have space for 2 more mods, which is gonna be Argon Scope, usually, and either bladed rounds or heavy caliber. That's it. And some people even said that I should have sacrificed one of the elemental mods and break my elemental combo to put on bladed rounds. And that is a terrible idea. Don't do that. Because elemental combos do far more damage than just single elemental mods. Let's just take radiation as an example. You can run heat damage versus the Grenier, which does 25% increased damage to cloned flesh, or you can combine it and turn it into radiation, which does 75% increased damage to alloy armor, which is your bombards, your napalms, and your heavy lancers. And that is a lot of bloody damage, which translates into huge crits. And some people also forget that elemental mods add raw damage to the weapon. Okay? So you're increasing the damage of your weapon by 90% when you add an elemental mod and you're not running, let's just say, heat against the corpus, which does 50% less damage versus proto shields. So if your weapon does 100 damage and you add an elemental mod, it's going to do 190 damage. And if you add 2 elemental mods, it's going to do 280 damage, which once again translates into higher crits. And that's before you even factor in the bonuses you get from the different elemental combos. As I've said, if you use radiation against the Grenier, it's going to do 75% increased damage versus units that have alloyed armor, which translates into huge crits, and it's far superior than increasing your critical damage. Because with radiation, you're actually going to get higher crits than if you increase your crit damage. And it's also important to say that not all weapons will have 100% crit chance all the time. So if you don't crit, bladed rounds aren't gonna do anything. Elemental damage is still gonna do extra damage, and if you have decent status chance, your elemental combos may proc their effects as well. And if you're, for instance, using the corrosive combo, you're gonna strip away their armor, and you're gonna do more damage to them. So if you're thinking about breaking up the elemental combo and replacing one of your elemental mods with bladed rounds, don't do it. It is not worth it. You need a good balance of raw damage and crit damage. That's why you don't replace Serration with bladed rounds, because without damage, your crits aren't gonna do anything. And that's pretty much all I wanted to say, so I thank you very much for watching once again, and I will see you next time. Bye bye!